Can you see me? There's Chad. There's Andy. Can y'all hear me? Wait, there it goes. Oh, we got an ad. Let's see. Hate to skip ads. Let me turn the volume down on this. Well, here we are. There's Chad and there's Andy. And just want to say, hey guys, without you, I wouldn't be able to hit 10,000 subscribers, and it makes me really, really happy. I'm pretty tickled with it. The fact of it is that we hit it in a year's time. I was doing some research here just the other day, and one of the YouTube guys that has millions of subscribers says it takes, on average, 5 years to get 10,000 subscribers, and we did it in a year. I don't know if that's true. Now, if I was a pretty girl, I'd have probably got it quicker. But the reality of it is, we did it in a year, and that makes me extremely happy. So, Belgian Doomer said, "You make good videos. You deserve it." Thank you, and congrats. And Andy said, "Congrats again. I really do appreciate it." Well, we're all drinking tonight, and I'm having a PBR as per usual. It is without a doubt my favorite go-to beer. And thanks, Chad. I appreciate it as well too. Well, what we're talking about today, besides the 10,000, is the Hemi versus the Meteor. So, and there's Iron Lady. I'm hoping you'll come up and make an appearance, Iron Lady. That's what it's all about. Homer's Reluctant Odyssey. Happy Friday, all. Happy Friday to you too. Cheers. We got 11 watching at the moment right now. Actually, 12 now. That makes me happy. Like I said, that's something that really pretty excited that I'm still learning how to do this live chat thing. So I'm not sure. I'm watching the screen, watching the camera, and watching the live chat at the same time. So, but like I said, the whole idea of today's video is about talking about the 10,000 subscribers that we hit. We're up to 10,055 or 56, something like that. How Dot, happy Friday to you as well too. But we're also talking about the Meteor versus the Himalayan. I did something exciting today. You'll see it on Sunday. I did another modification to the Himalayan, which is pretty outstanding. How Dot says you got his sunglasses today. Excellent. Thanks so much. Yeah, Steve, there. Can't beat having a cleansing ale. There you go. Bill Snyder, hey, hi from the Seattle area. Hi from East Central Ohio. But I did something exciting with the Himalayan today. And you'll see the video tomorrow. I don't want to spoil it, but it did change the profile on it a lot, and I'm pretty tickled with it. It's really expanded the usability for people over 6 foot tall. That's all I'll say. If you're over 6 foot, it's going to make a difference. Cup holder now. It's you know what? I ride full face helmets on the Himalayan, and it's very difficult to drink when you go tink. Yeah, it's like being a knight in the olden days. It'd be tough to lift your visor up and get a drink. Now you can do it with obviously a hose with your Camelback, but that's not what I'm doing right now. But that's funny, cup holder. It makes sense. On my Road King, I have one. There's Don and Lena from Texas. And David Clementis says, good evening from Oregon. Man, we got a lot of American guys on. And we up to 21 people watching. That makes me happy. Makes me real happy. But if you have any questions, before I get into my ideas of the differences between obviously the looks between the Himalayan and the Meteor, there's got to be some kind of question out there. People are asking me about this Meteor in particular. I asked a question on Instagram. How much did I pay for the Meteor? Guys, it's not mine. I'm luckily enough, and I've not made the official announcement yet, but I'm lucky to be as appointed as one of the new for 2022 brand ambassadors for Royal Enfield. Outlaw says hello from Virginia. Hello, Outlaw. Glad to see you're here. But yeah, they put me on as a brand ambassador, so I'm going to get some. May not be right away, but we're going to get the test ride. Pretty much long-term test ride, pretty much all the motorcycles in the Royal Enfield line. And they're saying they're going to do a new brand every quarter. And that makes me extremely happy to be part of a company that's going to expand different models all the time. And it's going to be based on a couple different engine sizes. There is talk of a V-twin but right now it's just in the concept stages, and I can't go anymore. I didn't hear that from anybody at the factory other than seeing that information online. But anyway, thanks Andy, thanks Chad, I really appreciate it. But yeah, I don't know how long I'll have the Meteor, and that's why we've had a lot of Meteor content, because I'm trying to get as much in as I can. And I have to be honest with you, I simply love that bike. It had, when I got it, it had over 1,000 miles on it, and I've put at least 700 on it already. Let's see what we got. I don't know how to pronounce this, but Quaizecker says, Hemi Rider in the mountains of Virginia, debating Meteor versus Bullet for that empty space in the garage. You can't go wrong with either one, to be honest with you. I tell you what, one of the things I love most about the Meteor is the fact that it does have a lot of low-end torque, and it's smooth, man. It is really smooth. Belgian Doomer says there's a 650 twin cruiser in the makings by Royal Enfield. I saw it on here. Any ideas on that? We don't get any kind of information like that because, number one, most YouTubers are blabbermouths because they want to get, you need to watch me because I'm going to give you all this information. No, I don't want to know. I'll know when I know. I know that sounds kind of funny to say that, but I don't want to be accused of spreading rumors, and that's not me. So if they do come out with a twin cruiser, cool, because I'm sure as hell going to have fun test riding that one too. I'm excited about getting one of the new 2022s in the 650s to play with a little bit too. And of course, next spring, I did get confirmation on that. Then the new classic 350 will be over. And to be honest with you, the 350 would probably be more of a multi-surface bike than the Meteor is. The Meteor is a classic cruiser. And if you guys watched that video, I did take it off road, and it can do it. But again, so can my Sportsters. I wouldn't recommend it for that type of thing. If you want to buy a all-around bike that's going to hit everything from just under the highway to dirt, then the Himalayan is by far the best choice. Let's see. Belden says actual Indian channels with videos from test ride. Yeah, and I've seen it. There's stuff all over the place. There's guys that just spend their entire careers going around in that town of Chennai and just watching for bikes that have tape and stuff on them. And then they film them and say, this is going to be this. Again, we don't know till we know. And that's what the cool thing of it. Harley's been doing, I mean, every automobile manufacturers do it, car, you name it, they do it. And so we don't know till we know, but when we know, we'll know. And then when we know, it'll be one of those type of things that I'll be eager to get on one and test ride. I'll tell you, as a guy who spent most of his life building high-performance engines, this is really a lot of fun because I haven't ridden a engine small. I think the last small engine I rode on was a 650. The Honda that I had, I got rid of, was an 83. And maybe Iron Lady can tell me on the chat there, unless she wants to come back upstairs. I don't remember what year we sold that thing, but that's the last small engine I've been on. Most of the bikes that I have, except for Iron Lady's 883 and M's 883, are all over 1,000 cc's. And like I said, my Road King and my Sportster and my Softail are all pushing over 100 cubic inches. So we're talking 1,600 cc's, and most places are better. But so what are my thoughts is between the two, the Meteor and the Himalayan? I will never sell that Himalayan. The Meteor I would love to have in the garage, but again, I only have it for a little bit of a time. 2012. Okay, she just told us what year we sold the Honda in. So it was in 2012. Old man Ronin losing his memory. Homer said, "What about making a Meteor a Scrambler style?" You could, but if you're going to do that, because if you want a Scrambler, you're going to want mid controls. Right now, the Meteor has forward controls. You can do that, but why not wait for the Classic 350 that has mid controls? In fact, the Classic 350 also has a longer swing arm distance too, stock. So in my opinion, this is just simply me. You can do whatever you want. But in my opinion, why not wait for the Classic 350 and scramblize that? Is that a word? I hope so. But I think that would be the better choice because it is, they've been riding those classics over in India on the crappy roads they have over there. And it's not meant to be any disrespect. I mean, it's just the way it is. They don't have a lot of great roads. And what they do is they've been riding those things even up in the Himalayan mountains itself. Steve Matthews, glad to see you made it. Let's see, like the slow food movement of the slow riding movement seems to be catching on. The enjoyment of journey rather than we get to, and I think that's a big part. And, it's kind of like funny. You're going to see something Sunday in the video where I was taking the Himalayan back in the woods to do a test for this new modification I put on it. I don't want to give it away. But we had deer running all over the place. Have you ever seen the roads in PA? Yeah, I mean, of course we have bad roads here in Ohio too. Thing of it is, India, mostly bad roads. We're blessed with having pavement, and a lot of times they don't, in between even major cities. When I was there back in the 70s, it was a really fun trip to ride just in a car or a bus or whatever type of vehicle you were in, because not only is the motorcycles and the things are scooting around you, they filter over there, which the only state in the union we can do that is in California. But it was, there's a term, willy-nilly, man. I'm telling you, that's what it is like. It's like, good. And they do it with ease. And I think that's the thing that you have to realize that classic 350 will probably be a lot better to scramblerize. I don't know if that's a word, but I think it'd be better. Belgian says, I sat on the Stellar Black, my local dealer here in Belgium yesterday. It's a real motorcycle. I was surprised how big and refined it felt. Seating position is great. Test ride is next week. That thing surprised me on every level. When they brought it to me to let me have it we've had it a month now, and when they brought it to me so I could test ride it, one of the things that surprised me more than anything else was its size. And I think on Instagram, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do. We want to try to build that as well too. Not that you're going to make any money off of it, but that way I can help promote everything. And we got 31 people watching. That's fantastic. Waiting for my first super chat. Hint, hint, hint. But what I was getting at was, Iron Lady's trying to pop in here. Come on in. Hey, everybody, say hi to Iron Lady. She just popped in to say hello to everybody. Got to dip down pretty. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Congratulations.
Thank you, baby.
Congratulations. Thank you for everyone who subscribed and watches our antics. We appreciate it.
Well, Rusty wants to get involved too. Everybody, this is Rusty. He's an ornery boy. But there's Kitty. She and you know what, Kitty, I feel bad. I deepest condolences to you as well too. So let's see. But where was I at? Let's see. Rusty. Everybody's saying hi, Carrie. Hi. Oops, I used your name. Well, everybody knows my name now is Jeff, and her name is Carrie. So we'll keep that a secret amongst us. How's that? But we were talking about the 350 Classic being a better one to scramble. But the Meteor surprised me so much, and what I was talking about was how and I sat a picture next to my Road King and how big it was compared to the Road King. It's a little taller in the seat than the Road King is, and it's a little shorter in length. But as far as the gas tank and everything else, it's a big motorcycle. People think, oh, it's a tiny little 350. The engine is small, the frame is large. It's a lot bigger than the Sportsters, and that's something, and a lot lighter, which makes me extremely happy because, man, you can throw that thing. That video I did where I took it off-road on the all roads here last week that you guys saw, man, when I took it back in the dirt, you were able to just put it anywhere you wanted. Even on the gravel. Now, the tires were wrong for the gravel. It can do it. It just feels a little funny with forward controls on a off-road because you don't have the ability to grip with your legs like you would with mids like on the Himalayan or the Classic or, any mid-control bike is better. That's why most people are going back to mids for when they're doing some really aggressive riding in some canyons and stuff like that, because the fact of it is you have more control. So that factor alone would say probably not. Let's see, we got a few more posts here. Manfred Kruger says, Moto Manny, do you think they'll ever make a bigger adventure bike like maybe a 650? Again, we won't know what we know. There's room. All I can tell you is this. I was told, and this is the only thing I can say, Royal Enfield is listening. How's that sound? Thor says, hooey, 10,000, congrats. Just woke up. Just waked up. Yeah, I waked up late too. Cheers, everybody. I'll tell you what, I really do appreciate all the love and support you guys are giving us. We're up to 38 now as far as watchers. And again, that's, if you have any questions, please put them down there, because that's what this is all about. We're going to probably run this for an hour tonight. The last live stream I did for my birthday, we did 2 hours, and that was a little long. But we're going to do at least an hour tonight, and I want to get as many questions I can in. I had one on Instagram that asked me if I had to make a choice and it was the end of the world, which motorcycle would I have? Which motorcycle would I keep? And to be honest with you, it had to be the Himalayan, simply because of the fact that it's off-road ready now. And I can pretty much, the only thing I'm going, the big change I'm going to make here probably this fall yet is going to put some other tires on it. The Pirellis that come on are really good on the road, but they're not that good. They're adequate. You'll never hear me talk negative about stuff. What I'll say is, well, it's not as good as it could be, or nope, or something like that. But they're not as good as they could be for off-road. But this is how I equate that. If you guys from foreign countries, or you people here in America, if you've ever bought a Jeep Wrangler, unless you're buying the top of the line Moab edition, the tires are pretty much mud and snow. They are all terrain. They don't put the best tires on them, because in all reality, 80% of the Jeeps that are ever sold never make it to the dirt. 80%. And the same thing is true with most adventure bikes. I have a friend that owns a BMW store, and he told me that 80 to 85% of BMW GSs never see dirt trails. They only see roads, and gravel roads maybe, but mostly just roads, because most people don't take them off-road. And that's the reason why the tires on the Himalayan are the way they are, because most people won't take them off-road. And there's a question for you. How many of you guys that actually have Himalayans have gone, I'm not talking about a gravel road, but off-road? How many of you ever taken your bike off-road? Because that'd be a good way to test our own people here. I know we got a lot of Himalayan people watching. Let's see. Could I buy your Himalayan for a super chat donation if it's big enough? Yes, you can. One thing I learned a long time ago, that never say never, and I love the bike. I'll never sell it unless you give me a lot of money for it. That I can actually buy 2 Himalayans. How's that sound? No, but nothing's out of the realm. I love that bike, and like I said, I would, if you want to buy it though, wait till I put all the rest of the mods on it. I've got a few more stuff coming. Let's see. 35 watching, 20 likes. Who's sandbagging? Yeah, well, 24 likes now, and I got 38 watching on my screen. See, Homer says, I saw a new RE military special sidecar for sale in the DC area. Pretty sweet looking. Hadn't seen that before. Iron Lady said, had to grab my phone. Hello, everyone. And you can read that yourself. Outlaw says, I can believe that. Belgian Donor says, the only reason I had a second look at the Himalayan was a better top speed for the highway compared to the 350. But yeah, I'd never go off-road, especially where I live. And that's basically what the people tell me. So the tires for you would be perfect. Chad says, mine was 3 hours old and took it down a fire trail. And that's great. One. But, and there's a lot of guys that buy them as a first bike, too. And so they want to wait until they get some experience under their belt. Steve says a Himalayan is a longer travel suspension, would be very suited to the secondary roads here in Australia. Yeah, and that's the reason why I love it so much on my gravel roads and dirt trails around here. Clay says, he's asking a question. It was probably a bullet, like I said, either a bullet or it could have been, what was the other model that was really popular here in the U.S. a few years ago? But let's see. Illinois said, discovered Royal Enfield recently. Decades of large bikes riding, and Royal Enfield brought back a smile I hadn't had for years. Love your channel. Among the best of the best. Well, thank you very much. Spread the word, guys, because we want to hit 50,000 by next year. Wouldn't that be fantastic if we could bust 50,000 or 100,000 to become one of the big channels? I hear people always say they really love the videos, so we get a few negative comments once in a while, but you're always going to have that. Can't please everybody. I mean, heck, they tied Jesus to a cross, didn't they? Wow, what a comparison. Let's see. 7500 was a 500cc, probably bullet then, without or a classic 500. They didn't have those back in the day. Herman says, drove my daughter's Meteor. Think I'll be buying one too. I love the bike. For a bike that is a commuter, and how many of you out there, and give me a chat in there, either either now or later, how many of you watched the video where I took the bike on all the roads? Because it's slowly but surely gaining in popularity. But that's one of the things I did with the Himalayan when I first got it as well too. And if I have a bike for a long term, what I like to do is do that road test, and then no matter what brand it is, and then after I do the road test, then I like to see if I have 1,000 miles on, I'll give you a full review, because I will not review a motorcycle. I'll give you impressions, but I won't review a motorcycle until I have 1,000 miles on it. How does a 650 KLR model 09 compare to the Bullet? Well, it depends on what you're doing with it. Obviously, the 650 is going to have a higher top speed. It's going to be a lot more travel. So if you're going to take it off-road, without question, the KLR is a far superior motorcycle. The Bullet is only a 500cc. It is built for bad roads, but not off-road. Okay, let's see. Paul Sawyer says, congratulations on hitting 10,000. Found your channel because of the Himalayan. Really enjoyed watching you and Iron Lady banter back and forth. You know, a lot of people say that. They really enjoy her. I mean, she's ornery, man. I'm telling you. She's ornery. That's all I got to say. Dave Clemens says, I watched the All Roads video and appreciate it. Thank you. I really appreciate you, David, for saying that. Artie says it was a great video. Thank you. Thank you very much. Maddie said, okay, I'm late arriving. Blame the time zones. No, time's the same. Signify says the N650 is probably going to be my next bike. Hope you're able to test one out soon. Yeah, me too. I have not been on one yet. Before I became an ambassador, it was kind of difficult to get to the dealers. And most dealers don't have the ability to let you ride one more than like 10 or 15 minutes. And to me, that doesn't do a thing. A test ride only tells you how well you can fit the bike at that moment. And so that's one of the things that I was planning on doing a lot of different motorcycle test rides, and I backed off of that idea because, man, everybody's doing them, and it's false information because you don't know how it's going to feel an hour into the ride, 5 hours into the ride, after 500 miles, after 1,000 miles. Things change, things loosen up. And that's one of the things that I made a promise not only to myself but also to you guys that I'll be able to give you proper information when I do things. And like I said, and I'm blessed to have a relationship now with Royal Enfield that I have the bike. Like I said, I've had the Meteor for a month now. I don't know how long I've got, but however long it is, we're going to keep pushing. And if I have it long enough, I may even take it to Florida. Wouldn't that be a fun trip? Let's see. Call Andy says, congratulations to UK. Just to say, watching your videos got me back into motorcycle. Wow, that makes, you know what? Hey, everybody, give Andy a special surprise. And let's do a cheers to him there. Because if you haven't been riding motorcycles for a long time and you're on there, man, welcome back to the club. And we'd love to have you. Says the last time he rode was in the 70s on a 125 trail bike. Now I'm taking lessons from a full test at 63. Congratulations. And Andy, you're the same age I am, brother. And happy birthday, and whenever it was. But and welcome to the club, and more of us and less of them. That's what I would like to say. Herman says, just as you said in one of your videos, choose the bike which fits the way you want to use it for, and that's exactly why. I mean, the Meteor is a fantastic motorcycle. My Harley Davidsons are fantastic motorcycles, but they're not all the same. Each one does a different thing, and the Meteor is a great all-around motorcycle if you do not want to travel on the highway. I took it on the highway a couple times now. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know, unless I'm forced to, I probably never will take it back on there again. It's not that it's hard on the bike, because it can do it. It's not made for it. And I would rather not abuse the little guy, is what I like to say. Let's see, Steve says, have you had any feedback on the longevity of the engines in the Himalayan and the Meteor? Well, if you ever looked at what they do in India, those engines run forever. So I'm hoping that since the Meteor engine is a brand new engine and the Himalayan engine is a brand new engine, it doesn't have the longevity of what the Bullet 500 has or what they had before there, or the Thunderbird or any of these other motorcycles. We don't know yet. But what I've seen, and I'm telling you what, I don't ride my stuff easy. Once the break-in period's over, boom, she's full throttle, baby. I do what I want to do. And I haven't had any issues with having to have any problems with ticking or any oil loss. Now, here's one thing I do recommend. Change your oil a lot more often than what they tell you to in the manuals. Because especially if you're a guy like me that likes to run the engines, and one of the things that somebody asked me before is, why doesn't the Meteor have a oil cooler? And I said, because it's not designed to run at low speeds at high RPM like the Himalayan is. The Himalayan has an oil cooler because you're going to be running at high RPM with very little airflow across the fins, the cooling fins. So they put they put an oil cooler on there, which doesn't add much weight like a radiator would, but it still keeps it cool enough. The Meteor is not supposed to be ridden in a situation like that, so they don't use the oil cooler, and you're going to get more airflow at 45 than you are at 5. Let's see. I just lost somebody. Let me come back up here and get it. It's so true. It's why I really like your channel. I really like a lot of videos that give more information. Thank you very much. Belgian Donna is also a returning writer. Well, that again, thank you. And I if I had anything to do with it, I really appreciate it, and it makes me feel proud because these small engines are good not only for beginning riders but everybody. And you don't need to be flying down the highway unless it's absolutely necessary. It's more fun just to watch where you're going. I love to look around, and running at 90 miles an hour, I don't want to really look around. I want to keep my eyes on the road. Let's see. Signify says cheers. Yeah, we were all cheersing everybody. Maddie says loving your Meteor opinions and thoughts. But are you ever going to do another Himalayan video? Yeah, we got one coming out Sunday. Belgian's talking to Steve. The Himalayan will run forever. Yeah, Itchy Boots. She rode her Himalayan across all those countries and down in South America and everything else. The bike is pretty much bulletproof as long as you take care of it. But please change your oil. One of the biggest problems with oil is the fact of heat. And if you buy a lot of parts on Amazon from India, they always throw in free oil filters. So man, you got half of the battle back right there. And use a good quality oil. I recommend nothing but a synthetic oil. Anything they recommend 1050. I like a 2050. I like a little bit higher viscosity, but I do run my engines hotter than a lot of people do. And so with that thing, I want the higher viscosity. And the reason why I say change your oil more often is dirt's not the enemy of oil. Dirt's just a byproduct of stuff happening in your engine and getting in your engine through your air filter. So check your air filter, make sure that your air box is clean. Now I'm in the process of putting I'm not going to tell you. No, I'll tell you. I'm in the process of putting a high flow air cleaner. It's got a different nozzle on it than the stock one, and it's from TEC. And we're going to be doing that probably in a couple weeks. The video will come out. It's on order. I don't have it yet. So when I get it, then I'll put it on. But when you have a high flow air filter, there's going to be more air in, which is more dirt. That's going to be one thing. But the problem is the heat, the viscosity. What the heck fell off my chair? Yeah, I wish they built the chairs like they build the Himalayan, because I'm having stuff fall off my chair as we're talking here. And Iron Lady says, "Oh yes, more Himis coming." Yeah, we're going to be taking it on a long trip here too, which is another secret that we haven't really talked about much. Let's see. Belgian says, oh, he's talking to Steve. Check out Itchy Boots. Yeah, Himalayan will run forever. More Himis coming. Mine serviced at 3,000, not 6,000 after the first 300. Illinois said, test rode a GT, Hemi, and Meteor. Loved all of them and picked the GT. The Meteor and Hemi have all been dogging my conscience since then. Should have gone with a thumper. Meteor is such a pleasant surprise. It is, man. I'm telling you. The bike totally surprised me. And I think on my first impressions video, you guys got a chance to see what my first words were. It's like, this thing is amazing. It really, I mean, unless you want super high acceleration and super high top speed, it'll do anything you want it to do as far as on the road. Maddie said he put 30,000 kilometers on his first Hemi, oil and filter every 3,000, did nothing to do it apart from basic maintenance, and it last okay. Again, take care of your stuff. Wash your stuff too. If you're one of those guys that don't wash your motorcycles, I can't be friends with you. Because it's so important not only to keep the thing clean and good looking, but when you're washing it, especially by hand and not using a high pressure hose, as you're going over, you're touching things. And if you feel something loose, one thing about a V-twin and a thumper is that they do vibrate. Now, the Meteor doesn't vibrate like the Hemi does, but I check bolts all the time. And in fact, I'm going to do a video on the Himalayan and the Meteor on the bolts you should be checking every so often. And I would say maybe every 1,500 miles, something like that. What's the break-in period for the Meteor? The same as it is on the Himalayan, 300 miles. Let's see, 300 miles. See, Clay says, just bought a 2007 military green Bullet, the sidecar, just under 2,400 miles. And it was sight unseen if anyone interested. And delivered to the mechanic for only $2. Oh, good. Well, congratulations, Clay. Road Reality says, hey, old man Ronin, how you doing, Road? Good to hear from you. Man, we got a lot of words here I'm missing. Belgian Dot says, wants to buy all of them. Clean bike is a happy bike. Exactly. Love your videos. Beck for you too says, love your videos. Got to go, Sue. Hopefully you can catch this later. You know what? You can. Got a message, hell for review. Of course it's from Maddie, so we'll show it. Just, what did he say? Just remember, all single owners must tighten their butts down. Roadwheel said, dude, I was washing my bike last year and found the bolt holding my Jiffy stand was loose. Tighten up. Exactly. And that's one of the things I really preach. Now, there's a YouTuber on, and I'm not going to mention his name, Adam Sandoval, that doesn't wash any of his bikes. And to me, he wears it as a badge of honor. And to me, he's just abuse. And wash your stuff, take care of your stuff. He's rich though; he can afford just to dump bikes anytime he wants to. Me, I buy those dumped bikes and I rebuild them and make them look beautiful again. That's the difference between me and somebody else. Wouldn't have found it unless I was washing a bike. Exactly. Wild Wolf, glad you're here. Well, where's Wild Wolf? I didn't see him. I must have missed him. There he is, 28 minutes late. Yep. Where you been, Wolfie? I appreciate all of you guys. Like I said, we got 46 people watching. I'm still waiting for that first super chat. Hadn't that terrible for shameless begging? But it does help the channel. The super chats, the super thanks, the super stickers, all that stuff. Being a Patreon, being a chef. I always get picked on by people on some of the channels and stuff. Well, you have a lot of motorcycles. I know, but I don't have that much money into them. I buy crap, and if you guys have seen my Toad Glide, you'll see that it's a piece of crap. I paid literally $300 for it, and it's still in pieces yet because I haven't had opportunity to do anything with it. And it's one of those type of things that it takes time and money. But right now, I'm really pumped on promoting and working with. Hey, we got our first super chat. Congratulations, thank you, Nathan. Much appreciated. Loves the channel. See, my begging works, people. It really does. Thor got one. Hey, there you go. Surprise. I really appreciate it, guys. That's for our 10,000 subscribers. I really do. Again, everybody take a drink. We want to make sure that everybody gets appreciated for all this. We really do appreciate it. It does help the channel. It helps me turn out bigger and better videos. We can buy better camera equipment and stuff like that, and parts for the bikes and things of that nature. I mean, the upgrade that's coming that you're going to see tomorrow came from basically Patreon and super chats, and that's what we're going to do. Is every time we get something like that, we'll make it better for the channel. David says, I really hope the Classic 350 comes to the States. It will be next spring, David, and that's a guarantee. That's not a rumor. That's coming. Like some more standard mid-control bikes for general overall use, and a lot of people do. And if you just came into the conversation, you'll see that somebody asked me if the Meteor can be turned into a Scrambler, and I'd say, not so much, simply because it doesn't have mids. The Classic 350 can, though, and it will. Let's see. Maddie won't say anything about cleaning my bike. I got a tad muddy. Well, you can leave it a day or two, Maddie, but get on the stick, dude. What's up? Jorge says, greetings from Portugal. You know what I love about this channel is I get the opportunity to basically intermix or mingle with people from all over the world. And that's why I started a hashtag, and I want everybody to start using it. There's two of them, actually. Anytime you send something out, or if you have a picture you're putting on anything on Instagram or on Facebook or TikTok or whatever you're doing, use this hashtag, and let me type it in here for you. I'll type both of them in there for you. It's hashtag Old Man Ronin Crew and hashtag Old Man. Make sure I'm spelling correct. I'm a hunt and picker. worldwide, because that stuff not only helps promote the channel, but it shows I see every one of those that come on those. If I don't get a chance to see you on Instagram or Facebook or any of those other ones, and it comes in like that. Oh, I said old man. That's wrong. See, this is what happens when you get old. I'll retract that other one. Boom, and let's get rid of that. Remove. There you go. A new person, Arkham, says, it's my first bike owner, would love to see a video what you look out as you walk. That's a good idea, especially with coming to the, and I just watched the Meteor after I took it on that dirt roads and stuff. Man, she got messy because if you guys remember in that video, I went on that gravel road, but there was a mud road that just literally was supposed to be dirt, but it was mud, and I had stuff everywhere. It was really, really dirty, and that's a good idea. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do that. Yeah, drunk type. Not yet, Maddie. I only had the one beer, a little bit of wine beforehand. I do like my wine too. But let's see, T-clocks, exactly. If you don't know what that means, I have a video, and it's a Harley video, but it's something you guys should check out. It's called T-clocks, and it basically tells about the different things to look for. Now I'm going to let you guys go to the video. I'm not going to explain it to you. I want you to go to the video, look through my catalog, and I think the video is titled "Time for T-clocks," and it's something I do constantly. And I think it's really good for you guys to check it out. Let's see. Brian says, I never wash my bikes as I never let them get dirty. Oh, there you go. Microfiber rag and spray polish is my friend. And I agree, but I do get my bikes dirty because I ride year round. And it's one thing that I've always done here in Ohio. And if you guys look at my videos from last winter, we were out in some pretty heavy weather. And I got some horror stories of riding in ice storms and things like that. Steve Matthews, you are exactly right. Australian wines are 100% better than Ohio wines. The only thing Ohio wineries have got them gone for is they're beautiful. Other than that, David says, hello from Brazil. Happy Meteor owner here. Well, congratulations and welcome, Daniel. We love to have people from all over the world. And again, use that hashtag, Old Man Runa Crew Worldwide. Maddie says, it's so amazing how much normal road grime can hide. It's exactly true. Especially when you've got, if you're not taking care of stuff, and a lot of times dirt will pull moisture out of a motorcycle. In other words, if you've got a place where there's an old style, like in Royal Enfield, use a lot of these old style fiber gaskets. Dirt on there and salt and grime will actually dry the gasket out from the outside in, and it'll cause leaks. So get that stuff off of there. A lot of people don't talk about that, but I mean, I can preach till I'm blue in the face, but you got to want to do it. If you don't really like washing your bikes, and if you don't have any kids, it is what it is. And CD, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, brother. Happy Saturday from up over, down under, up over. I guess that's how you'd say it. Vladimir says, hello from Brazil. Glad to have you, Vladimir. Again, we've got more and more people from South America, from Brazil and Argentina and Chile and Peru and things like that. And I'm really happy and proud. I wish, now Iron Lady speaks a little bit of Spanish. I do not. And of course, you're from Brazil. You speak in Portuguese. But I do a little German, very little, and a little bit of Italian and a little bit of French. But that's about as far as I go. I can understand about every fourth word now. When I was younger, I could do German, not fluently, but I could do a lot and have a conversation because my family is German. But as far as in being traveling overseas when I was younger, it gave me the opportunity to learn a few of the languages and to find the restroom and get the food and things like that, just like everybody else does when you travel. But if you have any questions, please, this is the time to do it. I love these. I love these live chats. I don't do it near enough, I don't think. Watch Stuart filming. I know he's a pretty big YouTuber compared to me, but don't watch him over me. Maddie says, Ronin, had any loose spokes on your Hemi? No. And I check that all the time, especially when I'm washing the bike. And you can do it. How I do it is an old style that. If you guys have ever worked in a garage, when I was a kid, I took a break from, I didn't want to work for my dad anymore in the restaurant, so I went to work, and I've always rebuilt stuff. I rebuilt a 37 Ford when I was 14 and 15 years old for my dad. It was a flathead V8. And so I've always been around cars and motorcycles. I've had motorcycles. I've been riding them since I was 5 or 6, and I had my first Harley when I was 14. So I've always had that kind of stuff going on. I always had a big garage to work on stuff. It's just part of my life. But one of the things I learned when I worked, after I left my dad's restaurant for a couple months, or a year, I went to work for a Chevy dealership in a little town called Navarre, Ohio, before wheels were around. See? But you always have a pencil to do your marking down when you're doing stuff on your car. And what I found that the best thing to do is while your bike is on its center stand, spin the wheel and just let your pencil touch the spokes. And if it doesn't give that, it'll be flat, and that's loose. And that's the best way I can tell you to quickly identify a loose spoke. That's what I've always done, and that's what I still do. I use maybe a pen, but a pencil works actually better because it's wooden. And I really do still use that technique. And it's the same thing is true with before when I mentioned about the with the Himalayan and of course the Meteor, they recommend 3 millimeters of play in your clutch, and you should check that every 600 miles according to the manual. Well, in Harley Davidson, they don't recommend you check it. They don't say that in their manual. They just say inspect it. They don't give you a time on it. But we always had a nickel, and if you've got, and you always pull a nickel out, and you put it with the gap there with your clutch, and your free play's set perfectly. So if you got a pencil and nickel, and if you're checking your tires, have a penny. If you see the top of Abraham Lincoln's head, you need new tires. I know. Old guy. What can I say? I use old tricks. Well, that's just what it is. Illinois says, love your 2-up riding on both bikes with Iron Lady. Those vids move me from watching your channel for the bike content to watching them for pleasure prints. Hey, thank you. That makes me happy, and I know it makes Iron Lady happy. We first started doing the idea was to do this whole YouTube thing. I actually started another channel where we have a couple videos on. I haven't touched it for over a year and a half now, and it was called Our Life on Two Wheels. And she wasn't really sure she wanted to be a part of it. And then I said, well, if you don't want to do that, I'm just going to call Old Man Ronin, my nickname I've had forever. So I did that, and now she's as much a part of the channel as what the Himalayan or the Harleys or the Meteor is. So let's see. Nan the Man says hello from Texas. You might have already said this, but what got you to get a Royal Enfield? Well, this is a great story, and and it's going to explain a lot of things, guys, because there's some differences between last year and this year. I wanted to do the Trans-America Trail this summer, and that was my full intention to have a motorcycle. I bought a 1200 Sportster to rebuild into a Scrambler to take, because I've been on the Harleys forever, and I was going to take a Scrambler. Make a Sportster and turn it into a Scrambler. And instead, after I bought the Sportster, I took it out and I rode it around, and it got hot as dickens. It speeds under 25 miles an hour. Plus, the son of a gun's over 650 pounds. And I thought, man, I'm going to dump this bike. I just know I'm going to. So what I did is I laid it down a couple times and then picked it up, and I thought, do I really want to do this loaded total? So I started looking at KLRs. And then I started looking at the Himalayan, and lo and behold, I had an opportunity from a fan of the channel, I'm not going to mention his name, that offered me an extremely good deal on a 2018 Harley Himalayan that had 11 miles on it, or 12 miles on it. He bought it, didn't have a motorcycle license, had it trailered to his house, sat it there for 2 years, never rode it, and said, you can get a better use out of it than I can. And so that's how I got the Himalayan. And to be honest with you, I've been in love with that bike ever since. And it's gotten me to be a part of Royal Enfield, if you will. I mean, again, being now, like I say, for 2022, but they started me early as a brand ambassador. It made me really, really happy. Okay, what do we got? We're talking wines in Australia. And like I say, the wines of Australia are fantastic. I'm a big, now is it, it's Syrah down there, which is one of my favorite Australian wines. Illinois says, love your two-up riding. Okay, Nan the Man says, from Texas, old tools always work. It really does, Clay. You're exactly right and welcome. Pro Special says, congrats on 10,000. And thank you, Pro Special. I appreciate it. Nathan says, the old tricks are the best and they keep you alive. Agreed. And it doesn't cost you anything. I mean, pencil. You got them laying around. Well, maybe not anymore. I don't know if I'll ask Andy. He's one of these millennials. Andy, do you carry pencils? Or is it something us old guys only do? Miss Kitty says, no offense, but Iron Lady makes it better. You know, I have to agree. And that's why I said I wanted to do it as a two-up channel from the very beginning, but she had reservations, and now she's loving it. And Harry the Man says, great story, thank you. Road Reality says, a great story about the Hemi. Now, do any of your viewers want to give you a Meteor? You don't have room for it, so I'll store it for you. Well, here's the deal. I have the Meteor for a little bit of time, and you never know what happens. Iron Lady thinks that she may want to have that for her own bike. So we don't know what's going to happen. Stay tuned. Oh boy! But I do want to thank the guys that offered up the super chats, man. I really do appreciate that. Again, sounds kind of funny to beg for stuff like that, but it really does help the channel. The super chats, the super stickers, and of course the super thanks on the videos it's already played. You can donate super thanks to any video. Just look down in the corner down there, and it'll say it. Say it would be better if Ronin lost some weight so he could see Iron Lady. Thank you. Okay, Iron Lady. I know, she's laughing. Yeah. Miss Kid, I know, right? I just got a big head, I guess, is what it is. It's all that intelligence. What? But again, if you have any questions, guys, on the Hemi versus the Meteor, that's kind of what we're about. I love both bikes. They're two exact opposite. If I had to pick only one, unfortunately, versus the Meteor, it would have to be the Himalayan, because that bike is just so special, and the fact of it is it goes anywhere. But if I had the opportunity to take that Meteor full time, right now, baby. I know, let's keep it nice, people. Agreed. Anyway, what can I say? But like I said, if you have any questions on, like I said, the video that's coming out Sunday is something. Andy says he'll never send his. Hey, Andy, do you carry pencils? I'm waiting for that answer. Illinois says, hope you're able to enjoy perks that may come with it. Definitely deserve it. I don't know what perks that would be, other than having the opportunity to ride the different motorcycles and turn out good content for you guys. One of the things that you'll never hear me say is I'll never be negative. If you don't hear me talking about a certain thing, then, or if I say, well, I wish it would be better, that means that it's something I don't like. I'm not going to bash anything, except maybe a Honda. Just teasing. I've had several Hondas in my life, and there's nothing wrong with it. But you got to pick on something. I mean, it's like the little goofy kid in the corner at school. You got to pick on him. That's part of nature. Homer says he carries pencils. I know, I do too. Pencils are awesome. You know, there's an old saying about the Russian Space Agency versus NASA, and NASA spent like $50 million on a pen that could write in outer space without gravity, and the Russians had pencils. So there is a factor about that. Road Reality says, a brand ambassador, can you get your viewers special deals? No, that's not what it's about, man. I could use a cheap Meteor, same color as the one you're in. Well, I'm sure that if you called your local dealer, you may be able to get one of their demo bikes, because that would be the best way that you could do it. Like a constipated mathematician. Yeah. No pencils on the bike, but maybe pen. I'm 45, so I'm a Gen Xer. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I thought you were a millennial. Because you look a lot younger than you are, so that should be happy for you. Hey, it doesn't hurt to ask. I know, right? Well, and that's true. I mean, the only perks that I get is some nice clothing, and the ability to ride motorcycles long term, which is awesome, because that's really what I love to do. Is I love to ride a bunch of different motorcycles. I mean, there's a lot of people, and this is something that there's a lot of anxiety about, people test riding motorcycles. And I know quite a few people that have their motorcycle license, and they've ridden one style of bike for like 5 or 6 years, who are scared to death to get on another motorcycle. Now, I've never done that. But then again, I can jump in a semi and drive it, or a tank and drive that, or not an airplane, even though I have flown them with a pilot beside me. I have had a CDL my entire, or what they used to call a chauffeur's license, my entire life, and I have driven pretty much everything, from semis to you name it, to a food truck. But I love getting in different vehicles and driving them. I used to race off-road dirt, and I used to race a little light track years ago, back when I had my GS 1100 SE Suzuki, and we used to do some racing on the oval then, and it was a lot of fun. So I really do have a lot of experience in a lot of different areas. Thor says, hope that Iron Lady do buy the 350 so you can see it on her road. Maybe she should buy a Honda Shadow A750. You never know. Well, you know, if she's going to buy a a non Harley or a non Royal Enfield, it has to be the VMAX if she's going to have a high performance bike. Just is what it is. But anyway, like I say, any other questions, guys? Let's see. How long have we been doing it? Man, almost an hour. And like I said, we had a couple of super chats, and it's very, very thankful. I really do appreciate that. That is by far some of the best things that people can do. Nathan and Thor, we really do appreciate you, man. That's something that you have no idea how much it means to me. That one day I would like to get to the position where I can do this once a week, and where I'm not having to work so much. I mean, I'm busting my butt in that food truck every day. Not that everybody who has a job, I get that. But I would love to do this full time eventually, but I can't do it and do the food truck. It's just too hard. 2 videos a week is most as I can do, and even sometimes that time, ask Iron Lady how much a struggle sometimes it is. The videos are easy to make. It's the editing that just takes so much time. Let's see. Miss Kitty, first time on a cruiser after only riding Japanese bikes. I couldn't find the foot peg. And I mean, that's true. A lot of people have anxiety because they don't know how it fits. I mean, with me, from going from a Harley with, I have Harleys with mids, I have Harleys with forwards, I have Harleys with extremely far forwards, I have with floorboards. I've had bikes with my GS's, not my GS, but my GS 1100 ES had the foot pegs behind. So I've had rears, mids, forwards, and to me, just jumping on a bike, everything comes back natural. But I get it, because it can be a little, what do you call it, intimidating to getting on a new bike if you've never been on before. Say, how many miles do you think someone could get out of a Meteor 350, and your thoughts on the engine? I think the engine is going to be bulletproof. Now, again, this is the first year for that F series mode, or J, what is it, F or J, I can't remember, but that new series of motor, and so there could be issues. I mean, and I'm riding that thing, I'm pegging that throttle at 75 miles an hour, and I don't hear a noise. It just sounds beautiful to me. And if anybody would be able to hear a noise in an engine, as much experience as I've got, it would be me right away. Iron Lady will tell you that if I hear just something subtle, what's wrong? I start looking. If it's a rattle, if it's something that feels like a vibration, then I immediately pull over to check out everything. And that's why I never let stuff go. I always watch, because I've been stuck along the side of the road on motorcycles, and it's not a fun thing. And I don't want to have that happen as much as I can possibly stop. Great story. If you guys haven't heard this before, Iron Lady and I were riding our Harley Road King, and we kept smelling gas off and on. Well, if you don't know, if you've got an electronic fuel pump in your gas tank, one of the lines is a high pressure line. And so the high pressure line got a leak in it. And so I literally had to, and I always carry stuff like, it's always with me, I always carry stuff like plastic bags, like Ziploc bags, and wire, and duct tape and things like that. Wire ties as well too. And I was able to get that high pressure line sealed enough that we could get home, that I could replace it. But yeah, that's something you got to really watch, is make sure that you're always prepared as much as you possibly can. Andy says, the food truck is amazing stuff. Go find it if you're near. Thank you, Andy. I really, really do appreciate it. Iron Lady looked good on the Meteor in the first one of the vids Ronin did. Yeah, exactly. And she does. She looks good on her motorcycle. That's why. Yeah, you don't see all of her tattoos. She's got a tremendous amount of, including a motorcycle engine tattoo. But you have to ask her about that. Road Reality says, I feel you're on the editing time. I spend about 4 or 5 hours per. It drives my wife nuts, and it's true. I mean, it takes forever. And sometimes, like on a Saturday, if we don't have anything planned, if I just shoot the video in the morning, it's all the way to the evening before I get it done. Especially with my flubbers that I make. Call Andy says, "Cheers, everyone. It's nearly 2 a.m. here. I'm leaving. Thank you and appreciate for the coming. I really do, Call Andy. I really do." Everybody say goodbye. Hey, 54 watching. That makes me happy. On behalf of all viewers, thanks for what you are able to do. Thank you. Mike Quinn, My Done Life says, "What's up? Hey, how you doing, man?" Again, I'm behind. Always fun trying to watch out for deer. Brian says, "Nothing better than trying out as many different motorcycles as possible." True. Clay says, "That was a fast hour. You're a restaurant man. That's why I like you." Excellent. I've been a restaurant man my whole life. That's mainly the main job that I've had pretty much since I was 11 years old. Yeah, I totally MacGyvered it, no doubt. Hey, got to get home, baby. I don't want to be paying nobody to haul my stuff. Nathan says, "Royal Enfield has dose extensive testing on these engines, and the Indian roads are tough to ride." Exactly. And I made this in one of my very first Himalayan videos. I said, if a motorcycle can handle Indian roads, it can go anywhere. Because I'm talking, they have the highest mountains in the world, and they have some of the crappiest roads in the world as well, too. And a lot of people to avoid, let alone everything else in nature and what have you. Like I said, I've been to India, I've been to Mumbai, and I've been on the roads, and man, it ain't nothing to sneeze at. I mean, I hear guys complaining about riding through LA, and that ain't nothing, man. I'm not kidding you. It's nothing. I've been to the Philippines. I'm not saying where I've been is trying to be braggy, but I've been on motorcycles pretty much all over the world, and I'm telling you, India is a test bed for good stuff. If it can make it there, it's like New York. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. And that's one of the reasons why Royal Enfield has been around so long, because they build good stuff. Now, a lot of people can argue with that. It is what it is. Is it like driving in Puerto Rico? I would say Puerto Rico is nothing. Go to Thailand. Go to India. Bangkok, 8 o'clock at night. Thousands of motorcycles and cars and people. Crazy. Richard Ronin, how you doing, Richard? Glad to see you as well. Everybody have a cheer for everybody that's been online. Let's see, what time is it? Man, we're 3 minutes till. He said, "It took 2,000 kilometers for my idiot to bed in and loosen up." And you know what? Engines do like to loosen up. And it's like if you're in a relationship. Now, I got to watch how I say this because I don't want to sound stupid. But you're never really comfortable until you're comfortable. Chad, wow, man, brother. Hey, everybody, say a special thing to Chad. He just had a huge donation, a super sticker. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. That just meant more than you could ever believe. Man, oh man. I've had some fantastic super chats and super stickers today, guys, and I really, really appreciate it. More than you'll ever know. That is, wow. Thank you, Chad. That's all I can say. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know what to say. Chad is awesome, guys. He is very awesome. And like I say, and so's Nathan, and so's Thor. We just appreciate everything everybody can do to help us make fantastic videos. I'm kind of speechless right now. That stuff just... I got the old shit-eating grin on my face right now. I know. That's just amazing. Well, cheers, Chad. Here's to you, brother. That was amazing. So, here we've been exactly an hour. Anybody have any final questions before we wrap this up? Because I promised Iron Lady there that we would keep it as short as possible, and but we also wanted to make sure that we told everybody super thanks for the 10,000 subscribers, and wanted to talk about the Himalayan, tell you about the brand ambassadorship, tell you about the Meteor, how excited I am to be part of Royal Enfield now as far as a brand ambassador, and And Iron Lady just hit the nail on the head. You inspire us to keep making videos, and that is the truth. I want to make as much, and if you have an idea for a video, throw it out there real quick. I'll make sure that I save all this stuff, because I really, really want to give you what you want. Tommy says, "Hi guys, tomorrow I do a test ride of the Meteor 350. You're going to love it, brother. In my Enfield dealer. Sorry for the English, I'm German. Das ist gut, yeah. You're fine. You do fantastic. And if you want to put it in German, we'll be able to get it too. Miles of smiles, and that's exactly what we always talk about. Miles of smiles, because that's what motorcycles do to me. Again, I've been riding so many years, and it's what keeps me, I don't want to say young, because I don't look young. I look my age, I think. But I really do love riding them. I don't want to ever get too old not to ride. It's something that keeps me trying to be a better person and trying to be, because it's so much fun. It's so much relaxation. It's saved my life so many times. I've been in one accident in my life, and only one, thank God. I'm really careful most times, and the time that I got in an accident, I was not. But reality of it is, I try as hard as I can to turn out good content, and it's all about you. It really is, guys. It really is. And thanks, Andy. I appreciate that. Wolfie says, greetings. It's morning here in the Philippines. Full supporter of morning drinking here. There you go. Have one for Wolfie. Maddie says he's leaving. Yeah, we're going to have to think of a new song for morning drinking. Clay says, you haven't seen the streets of New Orleans. Yes, I've been there several times. In fact, I learned how to do, if you've ever been to my food truck, I do a lot of Cajun, Creole, and Kunas style cooking. And I learned how to make a lot of the good food down there on a lot of my trips. I have a really good friend of the family who is a quintessential Kunas, and she taught me how to make etouffee and all the spices that I do on the truck, and it's amazing. They're the right family down there, Duck and Edna, and I know how to cook Creole and Cajun because of them. And I also learned how to do Nashville chicken in Nashville from Hattie B, the lady herself. Let's see. Big fella says, we'd be interested in seeing the new 2020 Classic 350 with a Meteor engine. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be fun. That'll be in the spring. Maddie says, God, it'll be drinking time somewhere in the world. Truth. Hey, good night, everyone. Ride safe. Thank you, Nathan. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. It means so much to Iron Lady and us. We really do appreciate it. Archon says, your content is awesome. I'm off to work. Okay, Archon, you take care. Wild Wolf says, cheers all. Again, I think we're going to shut her down for the night. And Miss Kitty says, mud bugs. That's right. I just really, really appreciate each and every one of you. So I can't do the song that everybody likes, the little jazzy song at the end. I bring her with rock and roll and exit with soft jazz because that's kind of who I am. I like all kind of music, like I like all kind of motorcycles, because it is about smiles and miles of smiles. Until next time, guys, make sure that you ride safe, and above all, keep her on two wheels, baby. Now, figure out how to turn this damn thing off. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. You have a swell evening. Love you all.